everyone!
Hi friends!
Thanks so much for tuning in to Cook with April on Tasty Tuesday, another Cook with Justin edition. A lot of you guys have requested this on our vlog channel, April Justin TV, and it is the most delicious homemade pizza with barbecue chicken, and you guys are just gonna love this recipe, so stay tuned. All right, so the first step is you're gonna get a 1/4 cup of warm water and you're gonna just put it in a bowl. And then you're gonna get a packet of like the rapid rise yeast, and you're just gonna sprinkle it over the top of that water, and just, you're gonna kinda wanna disperse it evenly. Okay, so we're just gonna kinda pour it on there. And now you're going to cover it with some plastic wrap and let it stand for 5 minutes. So you can see through the plastic wrap that the small little pieces of yeast are slowly starting to dissolve, and that's what you wanna see. So it's been about 5 minutes, and as you can see, not all of the yeast is completely dissolved, so you can just use a little spoon and kind of dip it in there to try and get most of it to dissolve. All right, so now that you have the yeast and water mixture all done, I have my stand mixer here and I have it fitted with a dough hook, and I'm gonna put in about 3 1/4 cups of bread flour. You can use all-purpose flour if you want. We like to use bread flour. And I'm also gonna put in 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And you're just gonna mix those briefly on low speed. Okay, now you're ready to add the yeast mixture into the flour and salt. And you're gonna turn it back on low speed once again. Now you're ready to add 1 cup of water and 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And now you're gonna mix on low or medium speed for 5 minutes. Now you're gonna wanna let this mix until it's kind of a smooth and elastic texture, so just be patient, it'll get there. So we're about 4 minutes into the kneading, and as you can see, it's taken a really good shape. Nice consistency there, almost there. All right, so our dough is looking good. You wanna get some flour on your hands, because otherwise if you try and pick up the dough, it's gonna stick to you. So I'm just gonna grab it right out of there, and I'm gonna place it on a floured surface here. And you're just gonna kinda wanna loosely put it into a ball. You're not gonna really knead it or anything. That job was done by the stand mixer. And you're just gonna kinda wanna knead it into a big ball like that, and you're gonna place a bowl over it, okay? And you're gonna let this stand at room temperature for 1.5 hours. So let's start the timer. All right, so while you're waiting for the dough to rise, we're gonna prepare our ingredients. This tutorial, I'm gonna show you how to do a barbecue chicken pizza, which is really easy, like on a weeknight or something, but you can put whatever you want on it. So I just have a prepared barbecue chicken from the grocery store, which makes it really easy. We got, obviously, red onions. We've got our mozzarellas, like fresh mozzarella. We've got TJ's barbecue sauce, which I really like, and some cilantro for garnish. So I'm just shredding up the chicken by hand. I like the dark meat the most. What about you guys? Let me know in the comments section. And I try and get most of the skin off the chicken to try and make it a little bit healthy. All right, so I'm done with the chicken. I have to admit I ate a little bit of it, but don't judge. And then I have my mozzarella here, and the nice thing about it, it's already pre-cut, so you can kind of just peel it apart. All right, now I'm gonna chop up my red onion. So I'm chopping these in pretty thin slices. If you've ever seen kind of like a barbecue chicken pizza at a restaurant, you know, they kind of just leave the rings like that and maybe just kind of chop them in half and break them apart. So that's kind of how I like them on my pizza. So now I'm just gonna rip up some cilantro, and we're gonna use this for garnish later. Adds a nice little flavor at the end. All right, so the last step to prepare our ingredients is we're just gonna put 1/3 cup of barbecue sauce plus 2 tablespoons in just a little bowl that you can quickly pour on the pizza. So one last little trick I like to do is I like to take a little bit of the barbecue sauce and just kind of put it in with the chicken and pour about 1 tablespoon of the olive oil in also with the chicken. And we're just gonna kind of mix it around. You wanna coat all the chicken with it, and that just kind of gets a little bit of extra barbecue sauce on the chicken, and it makes it taste delicious. All right, so about 30 minutes before the dough has completely risen, you wanna put a pizza stone in your oven, and you wanna preheat it to 500 degrees. You wanna put it on the lower rack of the oven, that's really important. 500. Start. All right. All right, so it's been 1.5 hours, and we're gonna take a peek at our dough, and lo and behold, it's looking great. It about doubled in its size. And so now what I'm gonna do, the amount that we actually made for this dough is actually for 2 pizzas. So we're gonna cut it in half, and you can just wrap it up in some saran wrap and freeze it. And you can make a future pizza or like a calzone or something like that. So we're just gonna kind of cut this in half, and we're gonna just wrap it up in some saran wrap. All right, so now we've got the dough that we're actually gonna use for our pizza. I'm gonna get a little bit more flour on my hand, and we're going to kind of shape this into a ball here, and we're just gonna kind of knead this with our hands. And you kind of want to just get it down until the crust is about maybe 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch, something like that. I kind of like it thicker, on the thicker side. April likes it on the thinner side, so we're gonna kind of do something in between that. I kind of like to use my fingers, and sometimes I like to finish it off with the rolling pin just to get it nice and even and circular. Make sure you're pressing out any air bubbles that you see in there. And if your hands start to get sticky, just maybe make sure to put some more flour on there. And again, it's really important that you do this on a floured surface, or else it's gonna get really challenging. All right, so I'm gonna use my rolling pin a little bit. You know, and it doesn't really need to be completely circular. This is a homemade pizza after all, right? So it adds a little bit of personality to it. So just remember that the thinner you roll it, the faster it's gonna cook. So just be aware of that. All right, so our pizza stone is at 500 degrees now. So you need to be really careful because it's very, very hot. So once you take this out of the oven and you place it on your stove or somewhere safe, you're gonna wanna get the dough on there immediately so that the pizza stone doesn't drop in temperature too drastically. All right, here we go. Got our pizza stone here. Gonna get some flour real quick, and we're just gonna kind of drag the dough onto the stone. Like so. Be very, very careful, it's hot. All right, so we're gonna place our good looking pizza dough in the oven there. And you are going to cook it for just maybe 4 or 5 minutes, not too long. You wanna check it the whole time until the bottom of the crust is looking kind of golden brown, all right? All right, so we're checking the bottom now, wants to be kind of golden brown. As you can see, it's still kind of light. I think maybe another minute. All right, so our dough is out of the oven and it's looking fantastic, and we're gonna go ahead and flip this guy over. And we want to coat the grilled side with some extra virgin olive oil. I've just got a silicone brush here. You're just gonna kind of brush this very liberally. Don't need a ton, just to kind of coat it. And now we're gonna go ahead and put the barbecue sauce on. Again, you don't need too much. You don't need to like drench it. You know, you just kind of want enough for a thin layer of coverage. And again, you don't wanna take your time too much here because you don't want the pizza stone coming down in temperature too much. All right, that looks great. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the chicken on, and I'm just gonna kind of go ahead and shred this up a little bit more. You know, you don't need to put like a ton of chicken on it either. You know, if it's looking like it's too much, you know, you can always save it for later for a sandwich or something the next day. All right, perfect. Now we're gonna go ahead and put some red onions on it. I love onions, so. All right, now the last step is to add your cheese, and you're just gonna kind of layer that all over. And I like to put the cheese at the very last on top because I like when it just kind of melts into all the other ingredients. All right, so we're ready to throw it back in the oven. Now again, not too long, maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. You want the bottom to cook too, but you don't need to do it too long. So we're about 3 minutes in. I don't know what you guys think, but I think that looks amazing. So the pizza is out of the oven and we're ready to cut a slice for our taste tester. And you guys, seriously, it smells amazing. And the last step is to garnish with just a little bit of cilantro to give it a nice finishing taste. All right, so we've got our lovely taste tester here, and she's going to give it a big bite.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Ooh, it's hot.
Mmm.
Mmm.
Ooh, I got a big smile right there.
Mmm, that is so good. The dough
is it?
Is so good. The cheese.
Ooh, and there's even a little bit of chicken in there that April ate. Shh.
No, I'm gonna pick it out.
What do you think, honey?
Oh man.
Is it really good?
I like how you put the barbecue sauce and you didn't like overdo it. Because I taste all the flavors. I taste the bread, I taste the onions, I taste the cheese.
Ooh.
Mmm. Oh, I just want to eat now. It's so good.
It sounds like a foodgasm right there.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So we hope you guys like this video. I want you to tweet April Athena7. Tweet us some pictures if you guys make this because we want to see your rendition.
Baby likes it too. Baby sure does like it.
So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and we'll see you next Tasty Tuesday.
Bye, friends.
Bye.